into this mythology. Paul's a connoisseur. Sarah has an interest, but it's all Greek to her. From Cronus's kids' weird childhood to what's going down in Hades' hood. These fables are bizarre but good. It's misunderstood.
Hey, welcome to another... I just made you jump with that.
Yeah,
hey.
that was powerful.
Welcome to another episode of Myth Understood. Sarah and I are sitting here, and we have a box of looks like German brandy chocolate that Jake handed to us. And
he's our producer
and said,
and lover.
He's all of those things, and he insisted that we had to try one of these.
Let's see if they're also called delicious.
All right, let's
Ready?
find out. One,
All
2, 3, let's go.
I don't like.
Oh, yep, they're full of brandy.
Oh man.
Well, that's some brandy candy.
Oh. Ew.
You don't like it, do you?
No. Jake said it was very important to him that we eat this.
It burns a little at first, but then it's really all right.
Yeah, it's very liquidy on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like hiding your alcoholism, this is a great treat.
Which is why I'm surprised you didn't like it more, because you always have to hide your alcohol.
I'm not. Oh God, which bite was very brandy.
That's exciting. What a way to begin this episode. Today we're talking about someone in Greek mythology that I don't know very much about. And in fact, most all of the information I learned about him was brand new to me because and I don't think that this is a rare thing. I feel like this character in Greek mythology often sort of gets glossed over, because I was talking to my friend Dylan today, who is pretty familiar with Greek mythology, and he was like, I have no idea who this person is. But they are a famous Greek hero, and their name is Bellerophon.
Bellerophon?
Bellerophon.
Fawn.
Mm-hmm.
Bellerophon.
Mm-hmm.
I have not heard of
That's
this.
That's fawn with a PH, too.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Bellerophon is most famous for riding Pegasus. And just recently we talked about Perseus, and we talked about how Pegasus launched itself out of Medusa's bleeding, gaping hole of a neck. And and sometimes Perseus is shown flying on Pegasus's back. And this even continues into our night sky. When you look up at the constellation Pegasus, you see Andromeda dangling from Pegasus. However, Pegasus isn't always associated with that myth. It's only associated in the way of it came out of Medusa's neck. But Bellerophon, he's the guy. He's the guy who's known for riding Pegasus. Nor is Disney's Hercules. Disney's Hercules does not have an adorable childhood with Pegasus.
Do they become friends later?
They see each other at parties.
But they don't have a thing?
They don't really have a thing.
That's probably the cruelest way Disney lied to me.
Yeah. Disney's lied to you in so many other ways too, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pocahontas. What
God.
Awful
Never
lie.
mind. That's actually the worst.
Yeah.
Because that has historical significance.
So Bellerophon was the son of Poseidon and Eurynome.
You don't know me.
Eurynome was the wife of Glaucus.
These names are insane today, Paul. These names, go over all of them again.
So Bellerophon, son of Poseidon, who you're aware of.
Now, you just said Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Okay, not Puss.
Poseidon. Poseidon,
Okay,
we all know him, god of the ocean, water, and seas.
And
all
he
that.
made the baby with
Eurynome.
Eurynome.
Uh-huh. But she is the wife of Glaucus.
Wife of Glaucus.
Mm-hmm. And Glaucus, we're going to sort of learn about him for a moment. Glaucus was a fisherman who one day was on the shores of the shores of the shore. And he realized that there was this herb that was bringing dead fish back to life. And so, what do you think he did?
He smoked that good herb.
He did, except he didn't smoke it. He ate it. He made an edible of this herb, and as a result, he became an immortal. But at the same time, he developed fish-like features, like fins and a fishtail. He's often depicted as a merman. Yeah. So he ended up being invited to live among the major deities of the oceanic realm, with Oceanus and Tethys and all these watery people.
Can we have just like a mermaid episode?
I mean, we're covering so much, but yeah, we can let's just hang out dressed as mermaids one day. That sounds good. I mean, we have the hookups for that.
It's true.
So he was taught in the art of prophecy and later became a teacher of Apollo as well.
Underwater. This is underwater college.
Underwater college.
Okay.
And he became a protector of fishermen and gave advice to anyone who was lost at sea, which is pretty nice of Glaucus. Glaucus fell in love. He met a nymph named Scylla. Does that name sound familiar? Scylla?
No.
Scylla? No?
No.
All right. Well, he fell in love with her, but she did not like him back.
Oh,
and so
going well for her.
So he asked the witch Circe to brew him a love potion. However, as soon as he reached Circe,
she an underwater witch?
She lives on an island. Circe classically lives on an island by her lonesome with her handmaidens. Well, so I guess not by her lonesome, and traps men on the island who she's been wronged by.
Ooh, can we have a whole episode about her? She's fun.
We're definitely going to touch on Circe during the Odyssey, because that's where she really shines.
Okay.
So, hello, Circe?
Oh, hey, glaucoma.
It's Glaucus. Glaucus. Listen, I'm in love. I fell in love with this nymph. She's beautiful. Her name is Scylla. I just want to be with her.
You want to get silly with Scylla, the nymph, and be a nympho with her?
Yes, all of those things.
We have fun on the island. We have fun.
I was wondering, I heard you're a witch, and I was wondering if you could brew me a love potion.
It's going to cost you.
It's going to cost me sex, isn't it?
Let's party. We have fun on the island.
Well, so that's sort of the thing, is that as soon as he gets there, Glaucus is such a beautiful merman.
Of course he is.
That Circe falls in love with him when she sees him.
Now, do you have any details on how his penis works?
I have an instruction manual.
But he's like merman, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a fish penis? I have.
Sometimes in classical Greek paintings, the merman's torso ends right beneath the base of his ballsack. So, like, if you can imagine that, follow what do women call these, like, penis lines, right?
I gotta say, fish are made with a specific design for reasons. Like, you don't want that when you're rubbing up on coral.
No,
you don't want that in the water.
It'd be so. You'd have to wear a seashell.
Yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to have like some kind of thong device. Yeah.
Except you couldn't. It wouldn't. It'd be very odd.
Yeah.
It'd be sort of like an eye patch.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, good tangent.
We need to paint the visual for the audience.
That's true.
So his dick's dangling out.
His dick's dangling out. Circe's really into it, and so she's coming on to him.
Ooh, that thing looks all torn up from the water. Let me take care of it.
Hey, Circe, no, I'm here for the love of Scylla, and I will not accept your offer.
Well, you're basically asking me to help you date rape someone, so I'm going to date rape you.
All right, so okay. So basically what she does is she pretends to that, okay, well then I'm going to pretend to help you. Here is my love potion. She brews a love potion for him and puts it in a bottle with a nice little cork. I can't make a cork noise. I thought I could, but I failed at it.
Boop. Yeah, that's a cork.
So she gives him the potion, but the potion is actually a different kind of potion. And she instructs him, pour it into the water where she bathes. And so he goes over to Scylla, sees her, giggling, doing nymphy things in the water. And he's like, oh man, I'm so in love with her. I can't wait for her to fall in love with me in this natural, non-magical way. He pours the love potion into the water. And when he does, it transforms Scylla into a gigantic, hideous sea monster.
Wait, in just a little pond?
In a pond, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So she has to sort of like
She's got
crawl
no
her way
room.
out of the water. You remember in The Little Mermaid when like Ursula's like crawling on the deck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has to like do that towards the ocean.
Ah.
Yeah. So
they get together, huh?
they end up perfectly together. No, she's clearly furious with him. So even if he was like, you know what, I'm gonna put aside the fact that you have like now like a skirt of barking dogs and like tentacles coming out of every orifice. I maybe we can make this work. And she's like, no, you've transformed me into this, so we can never work out. So she goes off. We're gonna run into her
As a monster?
yeah. She goes and lives out her days as a monster.
Oh, no.
With the we run into her in the story of Jason and the Argonauts. And Glaucus does instead end up with Eurynomé, who is an Oceanid. And there's many Oceanids, many mermaids.
Oh, they're mermaids.
Yeah. So women of the ocean who help all of that work.
Okay.
So that's all about Glaucus, and so we're back to him. He is married to Eurynomé.
Yeah, wait, how do you get to know her?
He just ran into her. He's just like, you just turned into a sea monster. Oh, hey, who are you?
This is like the next normal looking person.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it.
Yeah. So, back to Bellerophon. He is the son of Poseidon and Eurynomé, and but is raised by Glaucus because Glaucus thinks that he's his son.
Or also Eurynomé is playing with Poseidon on the side.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't, though? Poseidon, remember, he had like 76 wives / women that he was with.
76 wives?
Well, 76 women that he did it with.
Oh, okay. Let's say, like, that's a lot of wedding ceremonies.
Yeah, it's
So he's her Poseid chick.
Well done. I'll accept that one. So he was raised by Glaucus, and as Bellerophon grew into a
Youth.
With his
handsome youth.
a handsome youth. He's a very handsome youth. He, with his godly bloodline, goes to King Pythias to receive permission to marry his daughter Aethra. And if those names sound familiar to you, it's because Pythias was the guy who entrapped Aegis in order to have sex with his daughter Aethra, and she became the mother of Theseus. Do you remember that?
Didn't a rat die or something?
I don't know what you're talking about. However, before the marriage that Bellerophon has with Aethra, he accidentally kills a man. And I really wish I could give you more information than this, because this myth, in all the sources that I've checked, does not explain this.
His manslaughter?
How he accidentally kills someone. And it's possibly his brother, Deliades, that Bellerophon kills. And for this, he is exiled. However, this story is completely missing of what happens with him and his brother. So
maybe someone of our listeners can send it to you.
Maybe someone has the ancient texts that no other scholar can find, just like sitting around in their house. So that'd be great. Send it at P.O. Box.
Or _ myth understood Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes, tweet it.
So he's exiled into a foreign land, and in this foreign land, he goes to King Proetus to be excused for his crime of killing. I
didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
We were roughhousing.
And I'm not even sure who it was. It could have been my brother.
I don't think I did it.
Yeah.
Nobody has any proof.
Proetus is twin brothers with King Acrisius. And King Acrisius was the father of Danae, who, remember, she was the one who was impregnated by Zeus with golden rain. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and gave birth to Perseus. So we know what will eventually happen to King Proetus is that he gets killed by King Acrisius because he assumes that his brother had sex with his daughter because he didn't believe in the golden rain impregnate my daughter thing. So we see like very interwoven stories now with Theseus and Perseus. But Proetus decides to pardon Bellerophon. And during his stay at Proetus's house, the king's wife, and if you're really into crazy names, here comes the craziest one of the episode. This name is Sthenebeoea. Sthenaboa.
Schneiderbacher.
And she attempts to seduce Bellerophon. So, hello, handsome youth.
Who is it?
It is I, the king's wife.
What's your name?
That's not important.
It is.
You can call me Stenny.
Stenny, okay.
Stenny.
All right. What would you like?
I would like your youthful body up against mine.
I'm sorry. I just got wrongly accused of murder. I was exiled, and now I've been pardoned by your beautiful husband.
My beautiful husband.
Well, I'm a youth. We're all a little gay.
Well, this infuriates me. And so I'm, we didn't do it, but I'm going to tell everyone we did.
Not again.
So,
just like high school.
So Stenny goes to her husband and accuses him of seducing her. And
you should have seen it. He put on some Coldplay and that's not seduction music. And we cried for a long time.
He offered me some brandy chocolate.
Ooh.
So Proetus is greatly upset and he wants to get rid of Bellerophon, but he doesn't want to accuse Bellerophon publicly because it will bring him great shame. And he's also very concerned about harming a house guest. And this is something that is true of a lot of Greek myths, is that people are constantly in fear of the Erinyes.
Who?
The Erinyes. So remember when Cronus's dick and balls, or just balls, got chopped off?
That's literally the only story I remember.
Well, it gets referenced so much. When the blood shed onto the earth from it being flung across the sky.
Yeah. A lot of fun stuff happened.
A lot of fun stuff happened. Blood landed on the earth and created the giants. Blood also landed on the earth and created the Erinyes. The Erinyes are also known as the Furies. And remember, we talked about Nemesis last time. Nemesis was goddess of vengeance. But you have to summon her. The Erinyes are a primordial force of vengeance that act on their own accord. And one of the things that can make them very angry is when you invite someone into your home and then you act out violence upon them.
Okay. So they're karma.
Oh yeah, a little bit. And the Furies are known by name. There's three of them. There's Alecto, who is known as the Endless One. There's Megara, who is known as Jealous Rage, and there's Tisiphone, who is Vengeful Destruction.
So Megara, would that be the Hercules girlfriend in the Disney movie?
There are two Megaras.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked because there seems to be two of no name in Greek mythology because they're insane.
No, there's many. I'm gonna
a lot of Steves.
A lot of Steves. We're gonna talk about someone a Laodamia. There were like 7 Laodamias in Greek mythology.
And it's still such a name.
It's such a great name.
Yeah.
So there's not really specific stories about the Furies. They sort of like crop up. They appear in the Trojan War. They have these moments, but
They're just the politeness police.
The politeness police.
Mm-hmm.
So Proetus is terrified that he would upset them by harming Bellerophon. So instead, he sends Bellerophon. He says, "Hey, youth Bellerophon.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a really important mission for you. Just the most important mission. I would like you to deliver this message, a sealed message, to my wife's father, King Iobates."
Okay. I'll do it, but I just want to let you know, man to youth, I didn't bang your wife.
I don't want to hear it.
I didn't bang her.
Okay, I don't want to hear it. I I trust Stenny with all of my heart. She's my heart and soul.
Well, she's kind of a slut, but I didn't bang her.
Oh, don't slut shame my wife.
She shouldn't be ashamed of it, but she's a slut.
Be gone. So Bellerophon is warmly received by Iobates. So he's like, Iobates is like, "Oh, hey, Bellerophon, it's welcome to my kingdom, Iobates."
Diabetes.
Iobates. What do you have there in your hand? Is that a sealed envelope for me?
Here you go, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Sealed with a kiss.
You know what? I'm gonna put this on my desk right here. But for now, we're gonna feast.
I love food.
Yeah, well, let's sit down and feast. How many days do you want to feast for?
Days?
Yeah, we're gonna feast for 9 days.
Oh my God, this has been a weird year for me, sir. I gotta tell you,
we're gonna be so full together. Bring on the chicken. You know, we built this great hall, and you know, we knocked down like Demeter's forest to like make it, but you know, it's great.
Well, but I eat about 3 times a day, and I space it out.
Nope, we're gonna eat straight for 9 days. So he really receives Bellerophon and does not open the sealed envelope for 9 days. And you'd think that, you know, if
you'd be curious,
yeah, you'd want to open that up. But he was only curious about how much food he can put in his face. After those 9 days, Iobates unseals and reads the message and learns of Sthenoboa's accusation against Bellerophon.
At this point, they've like bonded, right?
Oh yeah, they've broken so much bread together. They are, oh man, they accidentally, like in the fury of hunger, like accidentally stuck his hand in his mouth. He was like, "Oh, that's not a turkey breast, that's your hand."
You.
Yeah, we're such gluttons. So this leaves Iobates in the same predicament of where he's like, I don't want to act out against this guest in my home, Bellerophon, that I've now feasted with for 9 days. I would really incite the wrath of the Furies by enacting harm against him. So he decides to ask Bellerophon to undertake a series of heroic but incredibly dangerous tasks, hoping that he will die. So he's like,
I guess they didn't have that great conversation over all of their dinners.
Yeah, well, you know, and it also takes care of things across the land if he's successful. So at least there's that. So the first thing that he asks Bellerophon to do is to slay the Chimera that is wreaking havoc upon their land. And when you hear Chimera, are you familiar with what a Chimera is?
Is it like a 3-headed thing?
The symbol for Mythunderstood is a chimera. It is a beast with the head and body of a lion, a snake for a tail, and then like a goat head that's also there.
Wait, that's coming out of the lion?
Yes.
I thought he's just behind him like, hey, snake.
Are you making fun of my drawing?
No.
You're allowed to.
I just don't understand why he would need that head.
Well, yeah, he has a goat head too.
No, why?
Because it's
you've accomplished what you need with the lion head.
And this, you're okay with the snake tail too?
that's also scary, but I'm saying the goat head makes it not scary.
Well, you know how like there's bad guys that have like sort of like dopey henchmen? Like this is like the complete package. It's like,
Oh, so
I'm
do you
a-
think the goat's like kind of sarcastic?
Yeah.
The lion's real intimidating. The goat's just like, yeah, we're gonna get ya.
Yeah, and I mean that's scary too. It's like, oh, someone's backing up what this Chimera is saying. Uh, so Chimera was the child of Echidna. Echidna is the mother of all monsters, and Chimera was roaming the entire countryside, just like burning everything it saw with its fire breath.
It breathes fire?
Yes, of course.
This is out of control.
So that's what Chimera was doing. So he starts walking towards where this Chimera is hanging out. And on the way, he comes across a seer by the name of Polyidos. And so he's walking and he sees Polyidos by the side of the road. Hey, kid.
Oh, who? Me?
Yeah. It is I. I'm a blind seer, Polyidos, but I can smell your youth as you walked by.
Oh boy, are you trying to suck my dick?
No. I mean, I'm down if you're down.
No,
to
I'm
clown,
not down. I'm not down.
All right, fine. I am a little thirsty though. Do you have any water on you? Just water.
Okay.
Just water.
You're thirsty for water?
Yeah, water. Just put something in my mouth.
Hey. So what in your mouth?
A canteen for water.
Okay.
I'm blind. I can't. Whatever you
It's
put in
gonna
your
be
mouth.
a canteen. It's not gonna be a penis.
All right. Anyway, so I hear you're off to go kill this Chimera.
You hear from who? Who'd you talk to?
I'm a seer. I can see all. I see.
You just said you're blind.
Oh, I'm blind, but I can see. It's like Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace?
Yeah, it's a song I just wrote. Yeah, can you I have advice for you if you want it.
I guess.
It'll cost
Bring
you.
it. Oh, then I'm fine.
No. All right, fine. You can have it for free.
Okay.
You need to go to the temple of Athena. You heard of her?
Virgin.
Yeah. She's a virgin goddess. She's really wise. If you sleep in her temple tonight, things will happen. Things will happen that will help you on your journey. I'll come too.
No.
I'll be Big Spoon.
No.
Fine, Little Spoon.
You stay here.
Okay, I'll stay here. And you go to the temple.
I mean, all right. I'll go camping.
All right, go camp in that temple.
Bye.
Bye. So he had a really awkward conversation with Polyidos, and then he goes to the temple of Athena. And as he's making his camp and he's setting up there in the temple, he falls into a sleep. He has a very deep dream, and in his dream, he imagines that Athena comes to his side while he's sleeping, and she bids him good tidings and sets a golden bridle beside him. And when he awakens, the bridle is there next to him.
Pegasus bridle.
And he hears a dreamy, far-off voice of Athena saying, "Hey,
Oh.
it's Athena.
Oh. You're hi.
Hi, yeah, it's me,
Sound
Athena.
Very
Use
deep-
this bridle.
deep voice.
Use this bridle,
Oh God, it's getting
and
deeper.
and use it to mount Pegasus
Oh my
safely.
God. I just pictured you different in my head, I guess.
It's really early. You might remember from earlier episodes. I'm a massive alcoholic, so I have
That's
a
true.
I have a really deep voice when I'm
Oh.
hungover in the morning. So he's able to take that golden bridle and go over to this ancient well in the city
She
of
is drunk when she did that too. She's like, "This is gonna be fun."
go to this ancient well in the city of Corinth, and he finds Pegasus drinking from that well, and he's able, with this golden bridle, to very carefully, cautiously walk up to Pegasus and put it on Pegasus's back, and now is able to ride and command Pegasus.
Wow.
So that really helps him, because as soon as he gets on Pegasus, they start flying towards where this Chimera is spewing flames all over. and he realizes as he's using his arrow and shooting down at the Chimera, he is not able to harm this monster at all. Its hide is like steel, and the all of these torrents of arrows just sort of bounce off of it.
Why do they want to kill it anyway?
Because it's burning the entire town to a crisp.
Yeah, but
It's I know it's an animal and you're excited about it because it's like a lion. But one of the things that some scholars have said is that they think of the Chimera as an allegory actually for the great volcano that is in this historical region. And so fire was always sort of raining down from the sky, burning the crops. And so they sort of might have invented this Chimera. Might have. Maybe the Chimera actually existed. I mean, who could make up with the goat head thing? It's like it's crazy.
Why is it there?
So Bellerophon, while he's riding Pegasus, comes up with this great idea. He has this lead spear with him, and he's like, if my aim is true, I can end this Chimera with a great strike. And so he hurls the spear down at the Chimera just as the Chimera is opening its mouth to breathe fire at him, and the spear goes straight into the Chimera's mouth, and then the lead melts down in the Chimera's throat and causes it to suffocate. And so he succeeds at killing the Chimera.
Boo!
So with that, Bellerophon returns victorious.
Just decapitate Pegasus next?
No, Pegasus and him are friends.
Killing all the animals.
He returns victorious to King Iobates, and Iobates, when Bellerophon is there touting his victory, he's like, that's nice, but I can't believe you. I can't believe that you actually were successful in this. So maybe he should have dragged the carcass there. I think he just probably left the Chimera to rot where it was. So the series of daunting quests ensued. He was sent against the warlike Solimi tribe, and then he was sent against the Amazons, and both of whom Bellerophon...
Lady Amazons?
There's no other type.
Whoa.
So he was able to vanquish these enemies by...
Killed all the women? Jesus.
By dropping boulders from his winged horse. He just sort of squashed them all by dropping large rocks on them.
Wait, how is he reloading?
You know?
What?
He has a stockpile on a mountain
When
nearby.
did they figure out, like, this guy brings giant boulders one at a time? Move.
Sisters, a man approaches on winged horse. I am dead. That was a good little improv right there. You just killed me right away. Killed your scene partner. So the next thing that happens is that he was sent against a Korean pirate. But the ambush...
Korean?
Korean.
Oh, I heard Korean pirate. I was like, well, that's cool. They're finally like,
yeah, it's they've
out.
reached East Asia at this point. No, Korean, Carian, from the Karya region.
North Korea.
The ambush fails when all 500 pirates that assault Bellerophon, he murders all of them
with boulders.
With his he has like, I've watched you play video games before where you like sort of get very far away from your enemies and just sort of pick them off one by one at a great distance.
Yeah.
This is what Bellerophon does. He's on his winged horse. He's above them. He's raining arrows down upon them. And they're just like, oh, we can't reach him because we don't have, nuclear warheads or something. So.
Because it's hard for me to see Pegasus as an asset.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big flying horse, so he's a target, and he's a target that if it gets hit, you go down with him.
Yeah, but he's Pegasus. He's like, he was born out of Medusa's neck. He's magical.
So what happens if you hit him with something?
He gets mad.
He doesn't have actual like horse skin. He's also steel.
I guess people just don't hit Pegasus. Pegasus is so swift and agile that you cannot defeat him.
Oh, yeah.
So the very last part of this, of his tasks, is that the king Iobetes now just sort of gives up on any sort of friendliness and decides to send his army against Bellerophon as Bellerophon is returning from doing his last task.
Wait,
And
why did this fall onto him though? He's just like, and
he-
why is the punishment for having sex with what was it? His son, his son's wife, or his
no,
brother? No.
his daughter, Queen Stenoboa,
Is his daughter.
is Iobetes' daughter. Yeah, and she's the one who's claimed that basically that Bellerophon raped her.
Mm.
So his vengeance is extreme, but not unwarranted. So when Bellerophon is approaching the city, his entire army is out there, and Bellerophon kills all of them. And he kills them all also by calling upon Poseidon, who floods the plains behind him. And as he's storming the castle, they set up a defense in place of women. And what's really
he loves killing women.
and what's interesting about this is the women all stand at on the steps of the castle, and as the water is approaching, as Bellerophon is approaching with his horse, all of the women simultaneously lift up their skirts.
Whoa.
And the
ultimate power.
the modest hero and the sort of modest ocean recedes, and Bellerophon retreats as well, because he's like, oh my gosh, women with female genitalia.
Because at this point, he actually is still a virgin.
He is, yeah.
That's a smart thing if you're at war with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a really great tactic.
So everyone retreats thanks to all of the minges. And
God, you love that word.
but after this, I mean, Iobetes has no army. He just has a palace full of
Ladies, ready, set, show your trap.
So after this, he
wins many wars.
He I don't think it would work for roving invaders of any other kind.
It's the element of surprise. No one is seeing that coming. Like, this guy's insane. What else has he got up his skirt?
So after all of this, he concedes and lets Bellerophon have his kingdom. He's just like, I've lost. You've killed my entire army.
That isn't the way it's supposed to work. You just be like, go away.
I'll decide to give you over half of my kingdom, and you can have my daughter, Philinoe, as your wife.
Philinoe?
Philinoe.
No.
And
wait, I thought doesn't he get in trouble for his garden thing, his banquet hall? Did he already get in trouble for the banquet hall?
Oh, I just made that up. That I appropriated that story, which I realized is incredibly confusing, and I apologize for that. But
the whole time I was thinking he was banquet hall guy.
You know what? He might as well be, though. No, this is Iobetes, who's just known for this story. So he shares his kingdom with this daughter Philinoe. Finally has sex, and the lady Philinoe bears him 3 children: Azander, Hippolucus, and the beautiful Laodamia. And when I was reading about Laodamia, well, this was sort of tacked on to Laodamia. It's all it said was Laodamia, who was slain by Artemis one day while she was weaving. And so I had to dig deeper to find out why or how. And so it's found out that when Laodamia is older, she is seduced by Zeus, and Laodamia and Zeus give birth to their child Sarpedon, who becomes the future king of Lycia, which is where all this is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And Artemis gets summoned by Hera. Artemis, Artemis, it is I, Hera.
Hello.
Artemis, you're so English.
I'm just. I've been out hunting, and I've been hanging around with some of my chaps.
You've just been knocking about, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, can you please kill this woman, Laodamia, for me? Nemesis is busy, and you have your bow and arrow that like doesn't cause anyone any physical pain. It just kills them, and I just want this quietly taken care of.
I don't murder people.
Well, she's just down
really.
there. She's just down there weaving.
But that's kind of fucked up.
Remember Arachne? She like wove that really insulting tapestry.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah. That's what Laodamia's weaving right now. Kill her.
She's dead. I'll kill her in her own flat.
Kill her. So, that's what happens to Laodamia. That has no bearing on this general story, though. There is probably, you might be wondering what happens to the queen, the Boa, the one who falsely accused Bellerophon.
I sure am.
So Bellerophon shows up one day. Hey, Queen, the Boa, it's I, Bellerophon. I've returned.
Sorry, you're looking for Stabodia? That's not my name. That's no one's name. So,
well, you certainly look the same. It's I. I'm riding on my Pegasus here.
yeah, that looks like a regular old horse, and
It has wings.
a lot of horses do.
Anyway, I know you were super into me back in the day. Now I'm not a youth anymore. Now I'm a man, and I'm like way more attractive,
Oh yeah.
and I have a lot more power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna ride on this magic horse with me?
Yeah.
All right. So he grabs her hand, he picks her up, brings her onto the horse.
Thanks for being cool about the whole like false rape accusation.
Yeah, it's
thing.
totally cool. Hey, I got a beer in the back.
Oh, like in his butt?
Yeah, can you grab it for me?
Sure.
And then he pushes her off the horse to her death.
I couldn't find a beer.
So that's what happens to her. Aside from that, Bellerophon would appear to live happily ever after in the way that his glorious deeds were widely sung. He was happily married to Philonoe. She bears him 2 sons, and
Dead daughter.
and the dead daughter, Laodamia.
That doesn't make him want to kill Hera?
No, but one day, he decides to be a damn fool. He decides that this honor in being king is not enough for him, and in his arrogance, he decides one day, I'm gonna ride Pegasus all the way up to Mount Olympus. I'm a god here on Earth, and I think that I'm gonna be able to ride all the way up to Mount Olympus and visit with the gods, and they're gonna be so happy to see me. So
Well, he is half god, right?
not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Poseidon with him, but like sometimes these god human births don't result in full godliness or even half godliness. Like he's sort
Really?
of just like a mortal hero.
Mm.
And I don't understand that either, because as I was saying that too, I was like, oh wait, but his mom is Eurynomé, who's also like a demigoddess of. So I don't know how he ended up so human, but he's a human, so they don't want that. When he flies Pegasus up to Mount Olympus, Zeus puts an end to his trip by sending a gadfly, which is a fly that's in Greece. There's like, you might remember that when Io was turned into a cow, Hera sent a giant gadfly to chase Io forever. So there's this gadfly that comes down, it stings Pegasus, and
Oh no.
and causes Pegasus to buck in midair and dismount Bellerophon. And he falls all the way down to earth, but he's like a god among men. So he survives his fall, but he's crippled. And he spends the rest of his life wandering the earth. And no man would ever help him again because of his offense to the gods. So he died.
This is an awful ending.
Yeah, so he has a very sad ending. What I am going to leave you with, though, for him is that in Tlos, in modern day Turkey, which is where ancient Lycia is, there is a tomb of a man with a carving of a man riding a winged horse, and this is claimed locally to this day to be the tomb of Bellerophon. And so here it is. I'm showing you a picture. I'll post this. It's the tomb carved into the side of the mountain, and the smaller picture underneath it is the very worn away picture of the man in a winged horse. So,
Oh, that's
so
really
it's
pretty. Will you
yeah.
bury me there?
I'll bury you there tomorrow. Well, I mean, it'll be a really long flight, just maybe 2 days from now. So yeah, that's the story of Bellerophon. Do you feel like there's particularly a reason that this myth might get skipped over by a bunch of people?
Um,
It doesn't seem
I
any
think-
more weird than anything else.
it's not weird, but he doesn't really seem to be like a man of any particular like Hercules. You kind of hear like, oh, he's a good guy, even though he goes crazy for a second.
I mean, and
but
there's no
things just
gimmick.
kind of happen at this guy, and he has to.
And there's no gimmick like Perseus is forever associated with Medusa, and then we have Theseus and the Minotaur. You have these memorable monsters that sort of work with them, but like, and people do know what a chimera is, somewhat.
Mhm.
But like, I guess that's his only sort of. He's got Pegasus and he's got Chimera, two great features of mythology, but not a whole lot else going for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally like the myth of of the women all lifting up their skirt
That's good.
to keep the ocean from coming in.
That's hilarious. That's really good.
Yeah,
And then the end is really sad. The Pegasus thing
yeah,
getting bucked. Is Pegasus okay?
yeah. Pegasus is okay. Pegasus makes it all the way up to Olympus and gets to stay there. Yeah, like your winged horse can stay. That sounds great.
Oh, so he stays up there after he bucks his friend off?
Yeah,
He's not sad?
no, he's fine. Pegasus has very little in the way of personality, so
All right.
yeah, I guess I'll live here with the gods. It's fine. Oh,
Yeah, I can see why he's not one of the most revered.
yeah, he's aight.
Coming this winter, be sure to get your loved one Tales from the Adventures of Bellerophon.
Yes, this 5-disc set has all of your favorite tunes from the heroic deeds of Bellerophon. That timeless hit, Be Careful, There's a Chimera Behind You.
Watch out, there's a chimera behind you. It's got a goat head, it's got a lion head, it's got a snake tail.
Yeah, remember that one? That one's great. You might also remember that beautiful lullaby song, Ooh, the water's coming up and hitting my minge.
Oh, the water's coming up, hitting my minge, and I'm sending it right back because it doesn't like my pussy.
And finally, everyone's favorite duet, the tale of Pegasus who has no personality.
I've got wings.
I've got a story.
Let's take them to the top
Of
of the mountain.
The top of the mountain.
Yawn.
Only 70 cents. Come get it. Well, thanks for listening to this episode. We were talking about Bellerophon. If I am completely wrong and everyone's like, oh, I totally know Bellerophon, he's awesome, and I would love to hear people's recollections about that. But
Otherwise, fuck you.
otherwise, fuck you. If you would like to keep up with what we're doing, you can follow us _ myth understood on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, you can listen to all sorts of different podcasts on dragonwagonradio.com.
And you can catch Paul Bianchi every Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. at Second City in Some Fucking Advice.
Oh, yeah. And you can catch Sarah driving me home after this.
Catch us on the 101.
Yeah. Bye.
Get out.
So, Apollo is the god of light and music. I'm here sitting with my own personal god of music, Matt Kessler.
That is so kind of you. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going. I also have a podcast on this network. It's called Too Many Records.
That came out of the blue, but thanks. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell it. It's the first thing I say in a conversation.
Okay.
And much like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill constantly, I am constantly buying new records. And you can listen to me nerd about records with all sorts of really awesome people on the Too Many Records podcast.
Where can I listen to it?
You can go to Stitcher or iTunes and download it there, or you can go to toomanyrecords.net.
Well, I will do that right now.
Do it right now.
Good.
Dragon Wagon.